Clayton, Coach spoke of the experience James Madison has, and it's particularly evident on the defensive and offensive line. How do you approach dealing with these guys? They're very athletic and strong up front defensively, obviously.
Right. This is obviously the best group we played against all year. Most talent and physicality level they bring. So it's going to be up to us this week. We had a good week of preparation so far, and the game plan the coaches are preparing for us to put us in the best situations to make our plays when we have. And I know that they're going to make their plays as well, but we have to maintain a steady path and keep working to succeed.
As you and I both know, the offensive line is the key to the game every week. However, given the running back situation that Richmond's in, is there a little bit more emphasis on the offensive line succeeding Saturday?
Well, it's obviously difficult. I mean, I think our top three backs are might not play this week, but it's the same every week. I mean, Savon back there is probably the most explosive player in the field week in and week out, and you saw that last week, made a 50-yard run on the first drive. So we have we're fully behind him and Devin and whoever else runs the ball back there, so looking forward to it.
When you guys get ready for any opponent and you're watching film, do you get more out of watching a team that has a little bit of success against a particular opponent, or do you get more out of watching that opponent when they are at their best? Some teams have taken James Madison to overtime, gotten them down to the stretch. Would you guys get more out of a game like that, or would you get more out of them just coming out and clicking on all cylinders and seeing what they're really capable of?
I just get the most out of seeing different fronts that are similar to ours. So there's a lot of teams that they've played, and a lot of them are 3-down fronts, whereas we play a 4-down front. And so watching some of the 3-down front stuff could be beneficial to see how how in particular the offensive line blocks or their certain techniques. But really it's just critical for us to watch the 4-down front so we see how it's going to look when we play against them.
Coach said about the experience again. When you're dealing with an offensive line that's as experienced as Madison's is, what sort of separates that? What's the practical reality and what makes an experienced offensive line a better offensive line?
When I think about an experienced offensive line, I think about communication and being able to pick up things like stunts and twists. And so we might not be able to win as easily as we would versus an inexperienced line just based off of movement. But it still boils down to what we're doing technically. And if we do our technique, then we can beat anybody who we come up against. So we might not get some of the easier wins, but if we have our technique down, we'll be just fine.
Clayton, how about playing up there? It's a different environment than almost all in FCS. Been there?
Well, I went. That's my redshirt freshman year. I traveled and was out there on the field, and like you said, it was different. I mean, we played against Delaware a couple weeks ago. It was pretty loud there too. I mean, we had some communication trouble, so we had to regroup on the sideline. So I'm just looking forward to it. It's a good atmosphere, and let's get out there and play. And so.
How much has Coach talked about just getting these last two and securing what he feels would probably be a very good shot at the postseason, especially if these last two include knocking off the number 2 team in the country?
Well, obviously, like Coach said, I mean, we get to 7 wins. It's going to be big for us in the postseason playoff run, and obviously having the win against the number 2 team in the nation will hopefully propel us into that conversation. So just hopefully we close the season like we've been playing in the past few weeks, and we'll be where we need to be.
What happened at Villanova? What were the adjustments they made defensively at halftime that just seemingly shut you guys down in the second half?
I mean, they ran some different things up front, brought some different stunts, different blitzes, different coverages. Couldn't really pinpoint down one certain thing. We didn't execute like we did in the first half, and that showed. I mean, I think we had 200 rush yards in the first half, and the second half we made out 20. So it's just a big thing that we maintain our execution level that we had in the first half carrying into next week.